Everywhere you look, someone's telling you to hate the 2020s, and probably for a solid enough reason. There's a laundry list of reasons why the world is headed in a terrifying direction. But I'm actually here with a good news report for once. Music is so back, and 2024 was my favorite of the decade so far. Hey neighbor, welcome back to year-end season on ARTV. My name is John, and I'm super stoked to take you on a curated tour through my favorite music of 2024. We ate good in the neighborhood this year, and my list was narrowed down from more than 600 tracks I liked or else loved, down to a top 50, including everything from shoegaze to country, metalcore and pop punk, indie, hip-hop, rock. A lot of ground is covered. And stick around to the end of the video. I think I'm gonna do a Star Wars text crawl and just reveal everything right outside of the top 50, my full top 100.
I'm so much lighter now, I'm no longer holding you.
Alkaline Trio locked in with melodic excellence on Versions of You. That swirling riff is absolutely hypnotic, and the way Dan and Matt intertwine voices in the chorus sounds like twisted beauty that I'd been missing over Derek's tenacious drumming. One more time we got it, a new classic from a veteran band. Billie kind of gave us the sonic equivalent of floating out the window into a storm on Blue, a musical reprise of sorts that captures every theme from her album Hit Me Hard and Soft in one single track. Bittersweet gives way to Blue as it nails this minimalist gut punch that sneaks up on you with ghostly vocals and immaculate production from Phineas.
Constellation got a twist to it for a GBO and all the hits in it. I'm gonna hit your business if it's momentary.
Fontaine's DC's post-punk grind finally won me over this year, leading the revolution with the atypically glam rock starburster. The song's slacker haze atmosphere is contrasted with Grian Chatton's non-stop deadpan kind of vocal, the kind that might strike you as an odd choice at first, but the band are able to wrap you around their finger by the time it's all over. Unexpected country detour, but badass is badass, and Ain't No Love in Oklahoma from the Twister soundtrack is fierce. Sorry, my southern roots came out. Rock and country collide here violently in a way that I've not heard too many artists do since the early 2000s, landing a sucker punch straight from the heartland with some powerful vocals to boot.
Days gone, can't count on anyone. I put the blame on everybody around.
If you're looking for a surge of pop-punk adrenaline, look no further than Cliff Diver and their catchy as fuck single, Days Gone. Driven by distorted guitars, electrifying vocals, and more hooks than a fishing boat, the track radiates major 2000s nostalgia with a fresh perspective. Foxing really said, let's make the collapse of society into a whole-ass vibe. They expertly portray the exhaustion of living in a digital hellscape and a smattering of sounds not unlike throwing paint at a Wi-Fi router.
The first test, say fuck the rest, put it on road.
If the first test doesn't make you want to flip a table and hug the homies, I don't think you passed the vibe check. Imagine getting hit by a freight train with a bonkers breakdown where they sneak in a fucking flute solo and somehow it works.
Repress, compress, and then just surrender.
Leave it to Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross to turn the pulsating anxiety of sport and sex into unbreakable cinematic art. Challengers is easily a top 3 movie of the year for me, and soundtrack highlight compress, repress smashes the senses like descending into a black hole of bad decisions as Trent layers the haunting synths with that classic Nine Inch Nails industrial noise.
Maybe it's too bad, maybe it's reckless.
My Day Off pairs Casey Hill's calming, feathery voice with Nourished by Time's deeper register, and the result is pure magical escapism. The guitar line is honestly pretty hypnotic, and it takes your mind to golden hour any time with its low-key but emotionally rich atmosphere.
Down the hall, you're a bull, and I can't help but saying Toro, Toro.
Achieving music that sounds playful, funky, alive, and brimming with personality isn't as easy as Remy Wolf makes it look. She sails along with the occasional belted vocal at always just the right time, while the spry bass line makes me wish I was 10 years younger and could actually dance.
It is what it is, but I don't know what it is. I wanna make it better, is that too much to ask?
Girl Scout crafted this unforgettable post-punk meets indie-pop gem with helter-skelter guitar licks, raucous energy, and an elevated vocal performance that reminded me a bit of Ellie from Wolf Alice.
Find is what I've been walking around, remembered songs were found out. Who are you inside of town?
Giant's Despair has all the hallmarks of a killer hardcore track. Relentless energy, cathartic screams, and a nostalgic sense of urgency. 90s rock influence clouds the soundscape just enough to let those gritty guitars shine on with a vengeance. Changing shapes in the back half as the instrumental outro calls to mind great bands like Basement.
Happy, but why do you even care? Must be something in the air.
Lauren Mayberry's solo offering Something in the Air is a sweeping moment of bliss that, number one, shows off her incredible soaring voice, but two, it proves even when stripped of the synthetic church's armor, this woman just radiates talent.
Watching the world move around the window inside.
I can't stress enough how much of an impact my viewers have had on my best lists over the years, and some of my worst lists too. But the neighbors have sent in so many great songs on stream over the years, and Heavy by the Irish post-punk group Sprints is among those. And if you want to join us on stream, we usually stream on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern. Just make sure you have notifications on for both my main channel ARTV and Beyond ARTV. This new single blisters like a jet engine as it drips with attitude while their frontwoman Carla bites the head off of the situation in a sea of crushing riffs and crescendoing drums. If We Didn't Cry is a brooding underground gem that balances crushing depression with a wistfulness that really does cut deep. The instrumentation builds out a warm, nostalgic sunspot, a place where the lyrics hit kinda like a long-awaited hug from the other side. Is this main character syndrome done right? Because these two masterminds commanding the dance floor with razor-sharp synths and defibrillating beats? I mean, I'll take that with the side helping of that signature Justice flair, and they came back with that chip on the shoulder burning the house down.
Can you figure out it's not easy when you figure out it gets.
It seems with age comes wisdom, but also maybe jaded nihilism sometimes too. So despite the reverb-soaked youthful energy being powered by those windmill guitars, the melodies hide something dark in plain view.
Because of you, I won't take it till I find a fucking lost. I suffer.
Okay, Knocked Loose teaming up with Poppy was not on my 2024 bingo card, but Suffocate is absolutely feral perfection, with the kind of heavy heat you can feel. The contrast between Brian Garris's throat-shredding screams and Poppy's shadowed, ethereal delivery that also is very screamy creates this unnerving push and pull that makes the track so addictive.
But just for once, and just for love, I'm stuck on you, just like chewing gum.
Snarling Punk softens just a bit on the chomping hit Chewing Gum, letting Emil and the Sniffers glide into new territory like a daredevil parasailer. Their frontwoman's vocal is the perfect combo of aggro, sarcasm, and charisma, and the Sniffers leave you buzzing like you've just downed a 12-pack of Red Bull, fearless with a fresh mindset.
Plain-coated bodies, I know that place in all its iterations.
Gleamer really hit the sweet spot between darkly dreaming and devastating with The Body's Worth. Exterior views of fog envelop the atmosphere, strutting out these lush guitars and shoegazy vocals as the instrumental subtly disarms the anxiety. Instrumental rock and metal band Night Verses can go scorched earth at the tap of a cymbal, which is what makes this team up with Incubus's singer Brandon Boyd even more spellbinding. Glitching Prisms is this swirling prog-laced masterclass that feels like it's constantly evolving without overplaying its hand.
Don't it feel like God told you, put that up inside, run it up inside.
This hip-hop trio shattered my expectations on Run It, a mesmerizingly fun fusion of cyberpunk, experimental hip-hop, and futuristic avant-garde soundscapes. David Diggs' rapid-fire delivery is like a lyrical assault weapon, threading through industrial beats that sound like they were ripped straight from a dystopian sci-fi movie you've heard of, but only feel like you've seen in a fever dream.
Prison underground, make sure it's you, those roots are serving.
The flowering is absolutely animalistic. The merciless riffs crash down like an inescapable tidal wave, while the guttural screams and savage drumming make it impossible to catch your breath when you're headbanging this hard.
This feel planet of AIDS. Why am I filled with this hate? Got freedom in every way. Y'all wanna take what I got, but y'all do not got what it takes.
Tyler, the creator, flexes his storytelling chops on Thought I Was Dead, weaving a narrative that's both introspective and confrontational, and yet another bold step forward for rap's current visionary goat. With features on the track from Schoolboy Q and Santa Gold, it's a trifecta of showing out big with a jazzy melodic backdrop. Balance and Composure's comeback was exciting enough already, but when Believe the Hype came out, I definitely felt like things were moving in the perfect direction. The song has juggernaut guitars and anthemic hooks for days that are tailor-made for screaming along at a sweaty, packed-out venue. Not quite the official XX reunion just yet, but Waited All Night is the next best thing, with Jamie XX, Romy, and Oliver leveling up that serotonin boost like a shot in the arm. Jamie slowly builds up a pulsating beat, layering in nocturnal synths with chompy percussion until it finally bursts into full euphoria like this erupting volcano.
I just can't wait. No way, no way.
First of all, band name so on point. Winona Fighter, no notes. Hams in a Glass is punk rock played with a cheeky, I'm trying to hold it together grin. The spiraling guitars and punchy drums pair for an instant adrenaline surge, but it's the self-deprecating humor in the lyrics that really hooked me. Oh, and the guitar solo. My jaw was on the floor. So unexpected, but so much fun.
Being this thick, it makes me sick. I wanna be a stick now, off with the tits. Off with the tits.
For as easily accessible as Ali X and her music can be, I wouldn't call Off With Her Tits an easy listen for those of us that actually pay attention to or care about the lyrics. That's gonna sound weird out of context, but there is witty humor injected throughout to take the edge off of the pounding beats and the heavier subject matter, as Ali's colorful voice reaches this explosive climax just wailing on the bridge. Another Sky are a prog-popping band from London destined for something huge. There's a certain freedom that comes from internal agony, something vocalist Katrin Vincent knows all too well. Her bandmates rally around the broken pieces for a hypnotic slow burn that goes out in a big ball of fury.
Feelings always misleading. Compulsion and blading. Face to the paper. Ain't no more choices. Fuck every statement.
Breakout band Maruja take post-punk to exhilarating new heights on Break the Tension, living up to its title by keeping you on the edge of your seat for the entire ride. Guys, this is a band with a permanent saxophonist. Do I really need to explain why they deserve our love? It's jazzy post-punk on steroids as frontman Harry Wilkinson's booming vocals roar like a powerful storm passing right outside your window. Now that we're moving into the top 20, I was legally required to do a hat change, but also a like and subscribe ask since I'm a legally skilled YouTuber.
Are you bringing me a message from the other side, Cardinal?
For anyone experiencing the loss of a friend or a family member, a loved one, I can't recommend this song enough, or its parent album Deeper Well. Cardinal sparks the conversation with a warm, comforting country pop sound that dials in more of a rock influence that makes me think a lot of Fleetwood Mac in that late 70s sound. Sliding Doors rolls through town like the perfect storm, turning the obvious Deftones influence into a wrecking ball of deeply needed catharsis. Banging guitar gusto kicks your teeth in as their vocalist substitutes singing for harsher antagonistic screams at just the right time every time.
I don't know what type of motherfucking crap they own. I'm like Carrie Bradshaw with a back brace on. I've been carrying you bitches now for way too long.
You heard Kendrick say it, the hardest out right now, Miss DOE, Doechii. This versatile rapper's natural charisma shines like a diamond on Nissan Altima, letting that production bounce while Doechii goes full speed ahead in her own lane. She is unapologetically her over a magnetic beat and a vibe that manages to be laid back and in your face at the same damn time.
Congratulations, best of luck and blessings. We're all together and we're living in the 20s.
Last year, Dilemma hit the top 10, and now here's a flaming 2-minute punk rager living in the 20s. It's a Molotov cocktail for the modern world, as Billie Joe Armstrong spits venom by lambasting the absurdities of the decade, while Mike Dirnt and Trey Cool lay down a rhythm section groove that sounds like they haven't aged a day since Dookie. I really didn't have much hope for the new Bring Me the Horizon album after years of delays, but I shit you not, within a minute of Utopia playing, I knew that everything I'd been expecting was probably wrong. It's the opening track to New Gen, fusing electronic textures with stadium-sized rock goodness, and Ollie Sykes' vocals are a massive standout here. The frontman shifts effortlessly between vulnerability and outright carnage, with the scope of cinematic production giving this track a larger-than-life quality, from its drums to its electronics to its guitars. Ben Stellar was one of my best discoveries of the year, and here, this post-punk band melt through emotions like acid on the track Passing Judgment. Their incredible drummer commands the tempo as shoegazy distortion swallows the guitars in magic, and the jaded tension in the singer's delivery makes it all feel so urgent and palpable, like a snake wrapping around your neck as the ramping tension blows the roof off with that guitar shredding outro. You can call Pearl Jam whatever you want, but don't call them has-beens. That's, I think, the one caveat. None of that shit applies after Dark Matter. PJ's album title track is immediate in the way that it demands your undivided attention. Eddie Vedder sounds rejuvenated, crackling with emotive expression as he navigates lyrics about existentialism and the beauty of life unseen.
Tectonic moves that make him shock you like defibrillators. No style, I can't relate.
Charlie XCX spun pop on its head with 360, a move that allowed the mirror to land directly on the breakout British star, who's already been big overseas for a decade but finally got her Brat Summer. 360 is equal parts experimental and addictive. In fact, it's the song that I credit for getting me into Brat when I initially thought that album was not for me. Hello, The Smile Incorporated? Yes, I was calling about your artist, The Smile, specifically Thomas Yorkshire, on the track Read the Room. It melted my fucking face off, that's my complaint. Read the Room is the all-seeing eye, dripping with unsettled atmospheric pressure. Tom York's poignant voice stands front and center, delivering cryptic warnings while his bandmates Johnny Greenwood and Tom Skinner pull together an immaculate instrumental.
I remember certain things, what I was wearing, the yellow dashes in the street.
21 Pilots blur the lanes, boy, with Josh Dunn's frenzied drumming as bold as it is infectious, and Tyler Joseph's knack for storytelling surfacing in a major way as he looks to his younger self for guidance. This one hit close to home, whether the song actually is about a mental collapse or something even further. It's incredibly earnest and combines pretty much everything I love about this duo into one life-affirming track. Breaking out the uke for the outro was such a good move too, nodding to their roots without repeating themselves. It's the cherry on top of the bittersweet sundae. We're headed to the top 10. You're gonna hit the like button. You're gonna have a good time.
My worst nightmare is me.
Into the top 10 we go. Blonde Shell and Billie joining forces is a colliding of worlds that completely swept me off my feet. Their voices complement each other so well, and the 90s rock vibes are a huge win. Docket is draped in melodic brilliance, with sugary guitars and a rhythm section that feels like it's ready to burst into the stratosphere. Sabrina's voice oozes with tortured but playful confessionalism about being a hoe. Their words, not mine, as Alicia, aka Billie, adds that signature gritty tuft that makes her vocal such an arresting standout.
Starting on now, how I lose it before one last shot of happiness.
Chef's Kiss doesn't do drone no drone justice. We need to thank the whole damn kitchen staff. Simon Gallup's bass rollicks with an insanely captivating grit, driving the track dangerously like a Formula One racer as the familiar gothic swell hits a fever pitch. Robert Smith is top class here. It's like his voice is vampiric, frozen in time, haunting with the piercing vulnerability that only The Cure can deliver with such fascinating melancholy.
The room is running around me. I'm clinging to the car seats, way too party. Now let me go and shake her hand. I wanna give her my thing.
In a year with loads of bad collaborations between musicians with zero chemistry, Late to the Party is the antithesis and the remedy to that. UK indie staples Orla Gartland and Declan McKenna team up in a celebration of relationship anxiety, specifically those times where you find yourself comparing yourself to all of your partner's past lovers. Personality oozes from this mix, flying high with guitars that refuse to back down as Orla slashes through the roadblocks of love, one freak out at a time. Declan doesn't have a huge role to play, but his contribution to the bridge sent this one over the moon for me, as Orla joins back in, giving the final chorus of the song all she's got, in a finale you can't help but smile and shout along to.
In the ghetto, I'm a Martian, crash landing. In them dirty ass apartments, stay shining. I forever be the hardest, big time.
The eclectic career of Vince Staples ascended to new heights in 2024, with this year gifting us his incredibly good Netflix show and his new album Dark Times. I went with the monster banger Etouffee, where Vince spits non-stop bars with his buttery smooth flow over hypnotic, ethereal production and a hook so damn catchy it has to be laced with crack. It's like a late night drive through the rapper's subconscious with some jazzy undertones that really lock you into his zone.
Feel like all my friends, they don't read my mind. The minute I'm not in control.
Nilufer Yanya's Like I Say Runaway glides effortlessly over a minimalist arrangement of shimmering guitars and understated percussion. Her and her producer were able to master that build-up before intensifying the hypnotic grip right as the chorus kicks in. And when I say kicks in, I really mean takes over, as that guitar pedal gets stomped right as the chorus lands, sending listeners into that frenzied overdrive that feels like flying down the highway with your eyes closed.
Please pray for me on your knees before it felt like a sin.
Evocative song titles like Sinner rarely live up to their name, but The Last Dinner Party shunned tradition in favor of something much more alive and nuanced. Something about the angsty passion in the lines, "I wish I knew you before it felt like a sin," right as that instrumentation breaks in. It hits like a blade to the chest, like tires to the road. It's an ignition switch that unlocks a whole ass spectrum of emotion while the entire band fires on all cylinders. Lush instrumentation links up perfectly with the multiple powerhouse vocalists that drip with confidence and defiance.
These suckers wanna twist and shout, they're fighting it out until they find the key to me. They will not bust me.
Oh, you wanted old school Jack? He's back with a vengeance for the ages on Old Scratch Blues. The gargantuan riffs are absolutely filthy, reminding me of his time in the White Stripes decades ago. Jack White proves he's still the reigning king of blues rock by handing down this electrifying moment that feels like it's been summoned straight from the depths of a smoky underground dive bar. Never been one for star signs, yet Capricorn has me thinking of things a bit differently in the context of Vampire Weekend. Does it not feel like the first warm ray of sunshine after a snowy day? Like the breezy instrumentation, gentle vocal harmonies, and the playful but introspective tone? It all disarms the listener before dropping them right back into the machine, with the added noise rock influence to those final choruses being a total work of art and a move that I didn't see coming from the guys.
Devil is a lie, here's 69 God, ayy. Freaky ass niggas need to stay their ass inside, ayy. Roll their ass up like a fresh pack of
Say Drake, when Kendrick Lamar speaks, the world listens. When you speak, 13-year-old boys log off Roblox for 2 seconds to glaze a dying goat. Kung Fu Kenny goes full mask off in response to a decade of subliminals from both sides, delivered with surgical precision here, every takedown in its right place. Not Like Us is the hit song of the year, a diss so powerful, it's a tour de force, with K-Dot's razor-sharp pen cutting through a celebratory mustard beat that feels like it's effortlessly carrying the weight of the world, while Drake slides deeper into his own self-made grave.
That's my boy. I'm coming down to the party and I want more.
I say this every year, but my 2024 Song of the Year was a highly contested battle, but on the throne, for the second time ever, it's the visionary duo Magdalena Bay with the spine-tingling bolt of lightning, That's My Floor. They're known for synth pop, used to play prog rock, and are now genre-bending like fucking Aang from Avatar on this masterpiece that feels like stepping inside of a kaleidoscope. I knew these glasses from Earthbound would be a solid investment. Mag Bay cook up infectious pop melodies and pair them with transcendental out-of-body lyrics and crank the knob to 11 for a magical spooky bridge that snaps back to life with a guitar soloing meltdown that had me screaming, "This right here, officer, this is my taste in music." The production is so tight it's almost criminal, with layers of sound that just keep building until you're practically levitating with them. That's a wrap on my top 50 favorite songs of the year. Please check out the songs for yourself and follow the playlist on Spotify or YouTube Music. As promised, the songs just outside of the top 50 are rolling on screen now. This is my full top 100 list because it was a mind-blowingly good year for music, and there's just so much that I couldn't share but still wanted to, so here we are. Thank you for watching, for hitting the like button, for subscribing to the channel, and to those of you who are active in the comments, I see you, I appreciate you. Share this video out with a friend or a music community that you're a part of, and let me know what you thought of my list in the comments below. Don't forget to check out more of my year-end content at the playlist on screen, including my worst songs of 2024 that's out now. Much love to all of the neighbors. I hope you discovered something that you love that you didn't know before from this video, and I'll see you next time.